My brother had a basset hound dog that he was taking care of. And I took him jogging a few times, his short little legs and big ears. I felt sorry for him, but at that house, there was a cinder block fence around the house. So this time I was going to jog. I was going to take my dog Baloo and another dog I called Tenderfoot. So I took the basset hound, I put him inside the fence. So I started jogging, right?
Because he had a hard time keeping up with his short
Yeah,
legs,
with his
right?
little legs.
Yeah.
And it'd be a good distance out of a jog. But I would always do the same. Here I go again, just like I always did. I jog down the road. And then when I got to this certain spot, I would always go counterclockwise. But right as I got to this spot, I heard the Lord say, go left. Go this way this time. And I did. So right there, and I just went, woo, I just immediately obeyed. And then my dogs were also like, they're so used to me going that direction at that point that I had to call them so they came this way. So I'm way out there in the pasture. And then all of a sudden I heard like that Sid, the basset hound. He was going, and I looked and I could see him way out there in the pasture. He was not looking up. He was not going by what he saw.
Yeah.
He was going by his nose. And he had his nose on the ground and his ears were doing this. And he was making a complete circle. Like he was not running straight toward me. He was actually making that circle, which would get to me, following my sense. Finally he got to me. So we jogged home. And right when I got home, that's when the Lord spoke. And he said, there'll be times in life like when he gives you an instruction that he can change direction at any time. Like there'll be times where he will change direction. But only when you're led and when you're sensitive, you'll make that change. And that's also like David. How David inquired God fighting the Philistines, and God says, yeah, do this. And then David inquired again, and God said, no, now take a different route. But you can only do that when you're led by the Spirit. Only when you're led. There's different situations that come up, different seasons in your life, and you want to go by what the Lord says. At the end of the day, you want to be a disciple of Jesus. And what is a disciple of Jesus? He's someone who will do what the Lord says versus what man thinks you should do.